American Horror Story is going to come back to Halloween Horror Nights. We're actually meeting with Fox tomorrow about it.
Alright guys, so here's the official program for this year. Right here, as you can see.
Thanks for waiting.
Have your red card ready, okay?
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Hollywood, yeah, that's where you say you're from. You thought you could make it, but the city won, yeah. Now you're living on, nothing but pills and low income. Your hope's all gone, so give yourself away. Show me how you go, on the floor, coffee and roast, go for me. You got me feeling so way, so I'll say, this is the day you became a Hollywood horror. Hollywood, yeah. Now where you're born and raised, the city that went and made you go and change your ways, yeah. Now you're walking on. Nothing but ash and broken glass, old-fashioned past to give yourself away. Show me how you go, on the floor, coffee and roast, go for me. You got me feeling so way, so I'll say, this is the day you became.
So we're just here, sitting early, waiting for Warren with Omar.
Where do I know you from?
I don't know.
Is it Best Buy refrigerator screen? I think they were playing your videos at Best Buy.
John Murdy and Chris Williams. Good afternoon. I'm John Murdy.
Good afternoon, I'm Chris Williams.
And I'm severely jet lagged. I've been in Ireland for the last 2 weeks, so I woke up at 4 in the morning thinking that was normal. And a lot of that is born out of just the practicality of being what we call a scare actor in Halloween Horror Nights, right? If you're going to be a scare actor in our event, we did the math on this, and we estimated that any particular actor is going to do whatever we directed them to do anywhere from 40 to 60,000 times, right, through the course of the event. So if you're wearing a furry monkey degrees at like 9 o'clock at night, so we always have to take into consideration the comfort of our actors. So in this case, that meant the monkey didn't have to wear pants. Here's one that was, I have to give credit where credit is due. This is a Ryan Murphy idea, actually. And I don't know how many of you picked up on this, but when Chris and I were pitching the maze to Ryan, we had a different character in mind for the murder house Easter egg character. It was a character from the actor's face to give her that look as if, they'd cut both sides of her face.
That was through Larry Bones, Boneyard Effects.
And that's a picture on set of what it looked like. A lot of times for performers that are in these effects, they're in a box.
We padded all inside and everything, but he probably crawled in like 3 or 4 feet, and then as like a rabbit hole, he's popping up through the top. We overlaid, it was either neoprene or...
Very happy to say. And we're going to share, it's pretty early in the year, it's still, what is it, April? I don't even know what month it is. Chris and I have been working on Horror Nights. We basically finished, you know, in November, took a couple weeks off, and pretty much just started, you know, right up again. So Chris and I have been working on Horror Nights this whole time, so we lose track of time. You know, American Horror Story is going to come back to Halloween Horror Nights. We're actually meeting with Fox tomorrow about it. So in the very near future, we'll share more information about that. But just wanted to let you guys know, if you're a fan of the show, there's much more to come this year. But I love the look of that traditional, you know, happy Christmas look and combining that with horror. Kind of as part of the audio of what was happening is you're hearing that cool version at the end of Krampus of Carol of the Bells that they did, that custom version. Krampus is here, all that stuff. And then it would go into the old grandma. So, you know, I have kids, Chris has kids. Our kids have all grown up with horror, you know. You told me stories. You had like, when you were working on mazes.
Yeah, I've got a couple older boys that are in their mid-20s, and when they were really young, this is when we were doing Halloween many years ago, we had a walkthrough of a mummy attraction, and I thought, well, maybe they're old enough, they're like 7 and 8, I think they're old enough to, you know, buck up and let's just walk through with the lights on. And this was in a soundstage, so I turned all the lights on, it was all bright, and so they're all excited, and the very first room was called Mummification. So we had bodies laid out, and guys were pulling tongues out of these bodies and turning these individuals in and wrapping them up into mummies, essentially. So I was really excited. We walked in the first room, and I'm like, hey, mummification room, and I turned around, and both of my boys were in all cradled up in a fetal position, just horrified. They couldn't even do it with the lights on or anything. So. I think they're still dealing with PTSD based on that, but so they always remind me of that. So
You've set me up perfectly as the worst parent in the world. Thank you.
no.
So that's the clay. We went to a mold and then we cast it out of a latex polyfoam. So it's comfortable for our performer. And it won't hurt a performer, so.
Yeah.